Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis call in preparation for July 6th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your individual trading needs or investment needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. So let's start off by taking a look at our calendar here. The big event today was the FOMC meeting minutes, and with that, there's a bit of a dissent in the Fed in terms of when they're going to start cutting back the rates. So that's something that there was a bit of a debate about in the meeting minutes. Other than that, the meeting minutes came in quite normal. So let's go take a quick peek at what they said here. Okay, so we have okay, so here's the article about Fed meeting minutes here. So we see that so market's still kind of digesting the Fed meeting minutes, and we have equities were basically flat after that. And then another thing to keep in mind here is that South Korea is doing their missile tests, which is kind of raising some concerns there, and markets moving more towards the safe haven currencies like Japanese yen. So that's why we saw that go up. But other than that, the only really big thing was that when they're going to start unwinding their balance sheet. So when will they start taking money away from the market? But in terms of the interest rate increases, they are still doing the interest rate increases at this point. So nothing big that really changed things. So we'll keep it as it is. And in terms of events coming up, tomorrow we have ADP non-farm employment change, and then on Friday we have the big number coming up. So this one is going to be important here as well as the trade balance for Canada. So important number to pay attention to. We also have non-manufacturing PMI numbers as well as crude oil inventories. So this ADP non-farm employment number will be important because then it will set the sentiment for the number that's coming out on Friday, which is the non-farm number, which is very, very important. So that's something we are definitely going to keep a lookout for. So let's move on to the charts here. We'll start off with the Euro-US dollar. Very, very neutral close for the day. With the meeting minutes that came out, we saw a whipsaw in Euro-US dollar. Other than that, it was very, very neutral. At this point, I think the market is expecting, based on the FOMC meeting minutes and also overall the general sentiment, I think we are looking at US dollar strengthening a bit. We have seen a pullback here. So in this case, it is a bit of a range-bound move at this moment. So we're kind of we'll treat it like this. So we're looking for price to move down into 1.1300 here towards the bottom, maybe even slightly higher into that 20 level or the 10 level. So that will be our price level that we're watching to the downside. Now this big pin here will be important because it's pin to pin back test. So that's about the 1300 level. So in the ballpark there. So I'm looking for price to move down here. Now, if it breaks this level, then it opens up this whole inefficiency, and then price could move lower. But if the numbers don't come out positive, the ADP numbers don't come out positive, that is likely to push euro back up. And in that case, we're looking for a 1.1380, the top level here. And if it breaks through that level, then we could go even higher on that. So at this point, bias is neutral to bearish. So we had a very smallish kind of move here, but price is staying below this level, which is the 1380 level. and that will be the level we are watching. So basically we're looking to sell at 1.1380 and potential buy at 11300. But if it breaks below this number, then we are looking at this 1200 level, which is basically this inefficiency getting filled. So those are some of the targets here, but neutral close, so neutral to bearish outlook on that. Pound here, pound is very neutral as well. We do have a green body. However, we have pins on both sides. As a result of that, we're looking for this to come down a little bit lower as well. The numbers coming out of the pound haven't been that great. So the Bank of England bias is a little bit hawkish, or it's a fair bit hawkish actually. But the numbers that are coming out, the last two numbers that have come out have not been as strong for the pound, which is why we have seen price come down a little bit, and there's always that Brexit in the background. So bearing that in mind, if we do get positive numbers for the US, we're likely to see this pull back lower. However, if the numbers, ADP number as well as the non-farm payroll number come out negative, then we're likely to see this move up higher. So in this case, the downside, we're looking at 128.93 level, which is about 12900 basically. Or if it moves up higher, so our potential selling level would be 129.50, and we're looking at 128, about 93 level here. It could go down into this 28.50-ish level, so that will be the second target to the downside. But the close for the daily is very neutral here. So if you take a look at our number here, this is, our chart on 1 hour here, this is where the price, I like that it's holding below this level. So this 129.50 becomes an important level. So we are looking for price to essentially go and test this level, which is also our R1 level, and then come back towards 128.50 level, which is this inefficiency. So essentially fill that inefficiency. So that's the move that we're looking for. Now, keeping in mind, if the numbers don't come out positive, then that could shoot up to the upside. And if it breaks above this 129.50 level, the next target would be about 130. That's what we're looking at. Aussie here, again, a very neutral close, but the bias here is more to the downside than to the upside. In this case, we have fundamentals that have not been very strong for Aussie in terms of the central bank. RBA did not raise rates and was not hawkish. They were just neutral. As a result of that, we have seen this pullback. And now we are going to treat this as a bit of a range here. So 75, 80 level will be the level to watch for downside. If it breaks that level to the downside, then we're looking for a continuation move further down. So we're looking for something like this, pull back into this level, and then a further move to the downside, more towards a 75.20 level. So 75.80 will be the first target to the downside, and then if it breaks that, then 75.20. And to the upside here, our target would be 76.20 here. So it could go up and do a test of this level again. So we could get one of these double top type of moves here. So if it stays below that, then we're looking for a move to the downside. However, it could go into the 76.50-ish area. So basically into this level here that we'll have to watch. So it could go up higher and do one of these. But all these crosses, again, we are looking at are US crosses, so the data will definitely have an impact on them. So with this one, the bias is neutral to bearish. New Zealand dollar, this one too, the bias is bearish because price is holding above this previous support and resistance level. So we're looking for at least a test of this 72.50 level. And once the price moves back lower, moves down lower, we're looking for a further move to the downside. So the commodities haven't been that strong. And as a result, we are more bearish on the commodity currencies. So they haven't really gotten any boost from, especially Aussie and New Zealand. They don't really have a big boost from the from fundamentals perspective, commodities or the bank. So as a result, the outlook is more bearish. So we're looking for that. Second, next target to the downside will be the 72.20 level, this one right here. So that's what we're looking for. First, we are going to watch the 72.50 level. If it breaks, we're looking at 72.20. And if it bounces off of this, then we are looking at 73.20-ish area. This will be our target to the upside. And I expect to see resistance in that area. So 73.20 level. If the price goes up, then we're looking for, this would be basically a place to look for a selling opportunity. 1 hour, it's already sort of holding below this previous support and resistance level. It's getting stuck at this level. So bias looks like it is to the downside, but we could go all the way up here as well. So 73.20 will keep that in place, and we'll keep 72.50 as first target, and then 72.20 as the second target. Dollar CAD here, oil hasn't been doing that great. So oil was selling. As a result of that, we did see, oh, where's my good chart? Copper, no, I do not. I seem to have lost my oil chart. Okay, so let's have a quick peek at this one. So yeah, oil dropped quite a bit, and we saw dollar CAD go up as a result, but since then oil has pulled up a little bit, but the candle is still quite big. So the bias is to the downside in oil. And if we take a look at our copper here, just for the commodities, copper is kind of sideways. So commodities are not that bullish, but overall it has been coming down. So let's take a look at daily look here. Yeah, so copper on the daily as well is coming, it's coming down. So commodities are weak. So going back to our dollar CAD here. So dollar CAD, we are basically looking for price to move up higher, and we are going to keep this range in mind. 130 to the upside. So when price comes here, 130 would be a place to watch. If it stays below the 130 level, then we're likely to see it go back down towards 129.00 again. But right now I'm looking for it to move up higher, but within this range. So once this range gets broken, then we'll have this inefficiency open. But for now, this has been a very strong support. So 130 has been a very strong support level. Resistance level. So we are likely to see this act as resistance in the future as well. So that is something we are going to keep in mind, this right here. If it does break, then we are looking for a back test trade. So we're looking for price to go up higher, pull back, and then do one of these. So that's what we'll be watching for. But for now, we're looking for price to go into 130 and then face resistance at that level. So the bias is basically bullish on dollar CAD. Let's look at euro yen here. Euro yen has been, so we had talked about this being a compressed move. So now looks like we are on that way down. But when price gets like this, it can be tricky because it could consolidate and then shoot off. So we have to be careful. But in this case, my bias is to the downside because price seems to have lost momentum, and also with North Korea doing the missile tests, that creates more buying sentiment for the safe haven currencies like Japanese yen. So that's from the fundamental perspective. So in this case, I'm looking for price to come down into this 128.00 level, right about here, bottom of this. Once this 128.00 gets broken, then we are looking at 127.50-ish level as the target. So this is the big range that I'm looking for price to trade in, between 129.00 to the upside and 127.50 to the downside. So once this gets broken, then we have this huge inefficiency open. But for now, we are just looking at 128.00 as the first target, and then 127.50 as the second target to the downside. If for some reason it breaks, like let's say the data comes out negative, it shoots up, then we are looking for a back test. Once it breaks above 129, we'll look for a back test into that level and then a further move to the upside. But overall, the sentiment here is bearish. CAD yen. CAD yen had a big, nice drop, and then it pushed back up. Right now, I'm looking for it to come and test the bottom here again. So looking into this 8,700 level as the first point, and then looking into the bottom of this at 8620 as the second level. Once it breaks through this 8,700, then 8620-ish level, or even the 50 level actually, that, yeah, I like that 50 level here as well, comes all the way back from here. So those will be the two levels to the downside. I am considering this bearish. Euro Aussie here, very, very neutral close for the day. As a result, we are open to direction in this one. Aussie is not that strong. So overall, the momentum is still to the upside. We have a neutral close, so we need to see a red candle to change the direction here. But for now, this is neutral to bullish. So we're looking for 49.60-ish area for a selling potential sell level, and then looking for it to come into this 148.80 level to the downside. And then we will have to decide if it breaks down, then we're looking for 148.20. This is a good level here as well. So Euro Aussie is neutral to slightly bullish there. Dollar yen here, very, very neutral. We have FOMC. We saw a lot of spikes created through that. For now, it's in a tight range. This one could go either way, because what we have seen here is price shoots up, consolidates, shoots up, consolidates, shoots up, consolidates, shoots up. So this one I'm not bearish on at this point. Very, very neutral, and we'll have to really see which direction the price goes in. So not the best pair to trade here. Euro Swiss here. Swiss is another safe haven currency. So once we see nervousness in the market, Swiss franc will usually go up, which means Euro Swiss would be one of those things that would come down. So bearish close now, and we're looking for a break of a 109.30-ish area. So looking for price to move lower. So that's a nice bearish close on Euro Swiss. So let's take a look at Dollar Swiss here. Dollar Swiss also a bearish pin bar. In this case, this 96.50 would be a potential pullback level, and then looking for a selling off of that. So bearish bias on Dollar Swiss. Pound Swiss here is more neutral to bearish here, because price is holding below this level. So it's neutral to bearish. And now we're looking for price to sort of come down here. The next target to the downside would be 12400. So it's at 124.80 at this point. So looking for price to move up a bit, even into 124.96, about 12500, and then drop through this 124.38 level, and then further down into 12400. So that's all I have. Anything else to add? Okay, we will call it a wrap then. Euro yen, let's go take a look. Let's take a look. Which inefficient move are we talking about? I'm actually looking for it to come down. It's reversed here and fill that inefficient move. Oh, bearish. Okay, so I see what you mean. Yeah, I am bearish into for euro yen, and I think it will come. Yeah, I agree. I'm looking for it to come down into that level. Yes. Okay, perfect. So we'll call it a wrap.